Yo,
Yeah.
what up? What up, world? Welcome to Fantasy Breakouts. I'm Pat. That's Eric. Thanks for tuning in as always. So now this is gonna be our Week 16 recap video. First of all, we're gonna go through obviously Week 16 games, and then we'll dive into our Week 16 championship for fantasy football matchup. Give us our thoughts and whatnot. So stay tuned. We had a my apologies. Stay tuned. We had a very intriguing matchup. Um, let's dive right in. So first of all, the Giants first, Baltimore. Baltimore did what they were supposed to. Dobbins looked solid. I think he's definitely the future. Let's take note that Mark Ingram was a healthy scratch. Wrong side of 30. Thank you, boss. But trust this, you out the door. Big trust. Um, as far as running game, I mean, Baltimore looks back. I think they're very safe. If they get in the playoffs, they're a very dangerous team. They finally caught their footing. I think maybe a week too late, but they caught it. I'd rather be them than honestly the Steelers at this point. That's just me. Any other takeaway from that game, Eric?
Yeah, I expect. Looking at this game, Gus got involved like we thought he would, and I know Dobbins got banged up, and they didn't even have to bring him back in at the end of the game, which isn't ideal in a championship. But yeah, I expect them to be something to be reckoned with. Again, they're looking stronger. They can run the ball almost at will, and then next year I expect them to get some new pass catchers, maybe a receiver, somebody early, but that's all I really have for that game. But let's go on to Atlanta and KC. Pat, what'd you think about that game? It was a weird one.
That was a stressful game. I know you talked about the kicker disadvantage, whatever, but fortunately I had both kickers in that game. And first of all, I don't feel bad for KC. Like they're so cocky, bro. Like that one. I think what they had, it was the very first drive. They
Yeah, I
decided
know
to be
exactly what
cocky
you're
and do
talking
that
about.
trick play. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
Buckner, what? This, oh. And then what do they do? End up turning over. That's what you get.
Yeah,
Um, and of course, Matt Ryan does Matt Ryan things, shows up when nobody needs him or expects him to, including the Falcons. He's so unpredictable. I just get rid of him. It's going to cost you guys money, but whatever. Calvin Ridley did Calvin Ridley things. I'm glad they kept him out the end zone, but he did everything else. So you can't get mad at that, like that production. He had a very good day. Um, but other than that, Le'Veon Bell flop. Here comes Daryl Williams.
yeah, exactly. That's why I wasn't big on him, and I said watch out for Darrell. Sorry, Darrell.
Whatever, man. He just linger every year, bro. He comes through.
He's a
Like,
pro. I mean, he's a professional. He's doing not anything spectacular. He's earning that paycheck, right?
definitely. I mean, other than that, cool. Finally missed the field goal. Like it's not like I wanted that, obviously, but it was crazy. Um, I was kind of torn. I don't know if I wanted that game to go to overtime or not.
I did.
See, but it is what it is. Any other takes from that?
No.
Okay. Next game. Oh God. Talk about stress, man. I know the Browns are coming in like projected to not have the receivers, yada yada yada, but come on, man. Y'all got beat up on all phases. Baker's doing his I gotta play better. No, yeah. No way, Baker. But they didn't even run. They had 8 yards to like the third quarter, something crazy or something. Like it's just that's
Right.
embarrassing, bro. And I get that the Jets are definitely have some momentum going. That's another discussion for another day. But come on, I'm thinking my defense could get a dub, but they get 6
Yeah.
flop. Um,
Yeah, I was
but
asking, are you still going to start them? They don't have any receivers, Pat. What if they can't move it? But yeah, because they shut down the running game of the Rams, which is one thing. They shut down the Browns running game. It was impressive. They got some big dudes. Like there's a lot of teams that would like a lot of those defensive tackles they're bringing in there, and it's not just Quinn Williams. There's other guys. I mean,
but it's
they're
weird.
nasty up
Like
there.
I don't know. I have to go back. Were they injured like at the beginning of the season? Like I feel like they could have had not. I wouldn't even say 8 wins. I think they could have solid 4 to 5 wins.
Yeah, they've been one of
I
the
don't know.
best running back matchups, like beginning and middle of this year. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
very weird. I don't. They just like, you want to get fired. But they
Yeah.
are playing for the future. I get it, but at the
Hmm.
same time, it's like I don't know. Next game, Chicago 41, Jacksonville 17. As you know, David Montgomery ran all over people. I think it was a very good game. Trubisky's trying out for next year as well. I'm sure the Bears will. They're just stuck between a rock and a hard place, idiots. So they're probably going to pick up Mitch. I mean, why not? What else you got to lose? Montgomery was looking good. They brought back Jimmy Graham. Don't know what that's about. Like, no offense to him, but where's Cole Kmet? Like, what are y'all doing? Um, Now, other than that, on the other side of the ball, DJ Shark decides to score. Ha. But pretty much, my man James Robinson didn't play that day. I was not too. I'd rather have him not play than play and play 10 snaps. So I wasn't.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Exactly.
Any other takes?
Yeah, you would have been really torn starting him, but yeah, Dare established himself. He's the man. Maybe this last week again.
Yeah.
They have a pretty tough matchup, but
I
17
was
touches for Dare.
Yeah, I was talking to a guy on Twitter, and he was like, "Hey, man, should I play Dari or somebody else?" I'm like, "I'm not playing any of the Jacksonville running backs
Yeah.
unless you're. I don't want to play anybody unless you're James Robinson, really." Or he's like, and I remember he said something like, "I'm gonna laugh when it comes back," and because he had a good game. I'm like, "All right, if you really want to bank on Dari, I'm gonna block. Have fun, all right." you know,
Yeah, he had
uh,
like what did he end up with like 10 points, something like that. I mean,
he had
he
solid,
didn't go
yeah. It
crazy.
wasn't
Give him
solid
some
flex,
credit,
but
but
no,
yeah,
I'm giving credit, but I'm not gonna play.
that was
No,
very risky. Yeah, championship week.
no.
I agree. I agree.
Um, Next game, Cincinnati, Houston 31. This was a great game. T. Higgins. T. Higgins looking like the future. Bye bye, AJ Green. That was his going away present. uh,
Yeah. Hey, he was getting some involvement, but I think like that. I just wanted that game to end so bad that did script out perfectly for
why?
Deshaun. Like almost the entire,
Deshaun
at
and
least the
Gio.
whole second half until his hand got ripped off. Oh my god. But yeah, Boyd without Boyd, yeah, Higgins. I mean, you can see he reverts back into his Joe Burrow self at that point, right?
Is Higgins a number one?
I think, man, I would say so. Yeah. Hmm.
I think he's proven to me that he's number one. Between all the ups and downs, and he was so consistent with a normal quarterback. Then he doesn't have competition with him, and the catches, great foot. I'm sold on him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. He's rising up for next year, and then yeah, with Houston's, they're one of the all time like one of the worst run defenses. They almost made neck and neck with the Vikings this week. Oh my god, Bernard wasn't
hey,
even the main guy.
that's what I was saying. I didn't even play the right one, but I did
Samaje,
have a
right?
good feeling about Samaje P.
Or
Right with that
Michael, like one of the cousins.
whatever. He back in college, bro. He had like 5 touchdowns, 400 yards in one game.
No. Wait, is that LaMichael or is that Samaje then?
Samaje,
Okay,
Samaje.
is this Samaje?
Yep,
Okay, this is
Samaje.
Samaje. I was
Michael's
thinking of the
the
other guy.
Jets,
Yeah, the Jets guy. Okay, we were just talking about the Jets.
but yeah, man.
Yeah,
I'm liking T. Higgins.
T Higgins. Okay,
All right,
everybody write
next
that down
game.
for next draft.
Oh, you better. Next game, Indianapolis against Pitt. This was a great game. I know we were talking about that before. I could see him getting a dub. Jonathan Taylor, that's who I'm talking about.
Yeah, me
Just
too.
because of that, and
Hmm.
he did exactly that. I think the Colts kind of went away from him in the second half. Man, they kind of shot themselves in the foot overall. It
Right.
was weird. They gave too many opportunities. Stop putting the ball in Philip Rivers' hands. If the run game's working, keep running. They just gave them slowly but surely momentum, so they ended up losing. But
If you
should
squint
see
your eyes, Zach Pascal looks like Diggs. And he had a pretty bad drop, didn't he? But
that.
you
I'm
hate
so
that guy,
confused.
but
Yeah,
hey, he's got a couple of weeks. We
what
got to give him some credit. But yeah, it seemed like they
it's
were throwing it
why
too
though.
much. I agree. I agree. They were throwing it too much. Not even Ty. It was all
Yeah,
Zachary.
that's whatever. Next
But
game,
yeah, let's go on.
next game, Carolina, Washington. Carolina won by a touchdown, 2013. Curtis Samuel. we're gonna talk about him later, but he is like the new improved Tavon, Austin, but use him in all phases, running, catching, whatever. Like he is in the game script. I remember it was like weird the first few weeks they were just talking about he was out of shape and blah blah. After what, week 4 on, he's probably been nuts, man. So definitely a
Mm-hmm.
name to look out for. Now, I think even when if Christian McCaffrey maintains healthiness, quote unquote, I think he'll still be a part of that just to try to balance it out. I'm interested to see what Mike Davis does. Hopefully, he gets paid, man. But he's the youngest running back in the league. But he had a great year. I think he deserves another chance or even a lead roll shot. But it's a business. We'll see. Um, Dwayne Haskins is gone. Most irresponsible person. I mean,
Yeah.
when you're an NFL quarterback, I'm not gonna go all boog on him. I don't know if you saw
Mm-hmm.
Booger, but some of these people, man, he just going out to clubs, doing this without the mask on, do it. You are an NFL quarterback. Period. Like you don't, and then you can't even produce on the field. Let alone, it's one thing if you were kind of produce. You are terrible on the field, but you spend your time at the
Right.
deuces.
Right. And they're
Ron
still in
Rivera don't play that.
contention. It's not like they've got anything
Yeah,
locked up or they're eliminated either. So that's probably made it harder to swallow for those guys.
and then you got to think the week before when it happened, they stripped him of the C, took his game check away, and then they gave the C to Chase Young. So now you see a fellow Ohio State Buckeye who was a later draft pick a year later take your C. That's gotta hurt. But and it didn't resonate with him, like, but whatever. Moving on to Denver and Chargers. Chargers won by 3. Um, I hope Anthony Lynn comes back next year. I think the Chargers offense is looking pretty good. They had a lot of close games, man. But that's still they need to address the game management. We've been through this plenty of times. Um, that's pretty much all I had to say about that game. Didn't look at it that too much.
Yeah, me neither.
Anything from you?
No, I mean, it's just kind of disappointing with Drew Lock and they're not converting any touchdowns and that offense is a mess. And then, yeah, the Chargers were a little bit sloppier than I expected them this week. I actually expected that to be about 10 points higher for each team.
Mm-hmm.
So it just didn't work out. I mean, those teams have some things to work on for sure in the offseason.
Put in nicely. The next game that probably hurt you the most: Dallas 37, Philly 17. Because this started off great. I'm like,
Right. Threw that
please
bomb to
sit down.
Deshaun.
He almost had a rushing touchdown. They called it
Jalen
out.
Hurts. He's talking about Jalen
Yep,
Hurts.
yep.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts, sorry. He almost had a rushing touchdown as his quarterback. And then they pitched off. I was like, thank you. And then,
Yeah. He stepped out of
uh,
bounds. That's what it
yep.
was.
And then the next play or the next series,
Mm-hmm.
Deshaun had the 80-yard touchdown or something like
Yeah.
that. It was something crazy. Man's quick. God, he's still quick. Um, but then after that, it pretty much the rookie quarterback came out.
Right.
It looked like they just had. He didn't fumble at the end. That was a little controversial, whatever. But a lot of the he just had, man. I don't know if he was forcing. It wasn't seeing the reads. I
He's
think
getting
Dallas
hit a
went on.
ton too, but
They might be the most dangerous team right now from the NFC East. I don't know how I'm saying that, but and looking fine, spreading the love. Zeke had the best game since '98. No, but he did have he had like 13 broke missed tackles created or something like that. But had a very good game. Uh, Other than that, what did you take anything else from that, Eric?
yeah, something we haven't seen since Dak really got hurt. Right, was the big three for Dallas all
Mm-hmm.
scored or all at least they all put up really big points. But yeah, it hurts. I mean, I was in that position where I was fighting uphill against Kamara, and without the Kamara game, or maybe if he would have just went 20 over what he had, I probably wouldn't have rolled the dice with Hurts. But I mean, he's fine. I mean, ran for 70 yards, 2 interceptions. We don't care about that as much in fantasy, right?
No.
340 for passing yards. But yeah, they just kind of got stuck at the 20 or 30 yard line too many times. Couldn't convert a touchdown, even though they were running really good in the first half. It's fine. Just if you got to run it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Just get
but
first, keep
they
moving.
look like an NFC East game. That's what it was, right?
They always have a good, like a crazy matchup though.
Mm-hmm.
Always. Um. All right. Moving on to Seattle versus the Rams. This was like that game I said that I wouldn't be surprised if it what I think I said 13-9 or something like that. It just they
Yep.
always play like that. Thank you, Jared Goff, for being so bad at your job.
I was saying that. I was like, dude, he looks like he has the yips or something. He can't throw it right now. And it's like, oh, his hand's broken. I was like, all
What
right, that makes more sense. But I was like, yeah. So I have Hurts going on, and then I have
Woods?
what Goff can't throw a 8-yard pass to Woods right now. It's like it's a screen, wham, just throws it into the ground. It's like, man, this is a bad 10, 15 minutes. I need a nap or something. This is rough.
I'm just gonna turn this off.
Yeah, he something was wrong. I said it to our group too. I was like, man, he looks like something's off right now. I mean, mailing it in.
Off with Goff.
Right, but ugly. I don't have anything else to say about that. Oh, Seattle's defense is not getting walked over anymore. That's done.
Remember that? Remember weeks ago I was talking about that. I said, hey man,
Yeah, you did.
they get
Yep.
healthy. But watching out because they were missing that Jamal. If they figured that out, they traded for dude. Now look, not even fancy. They're not playing that no more, man.
Mhm.
And Seattle's always been one of those teams that people you don't want to see them in the playoffs because they're always going to be playoff ready. You know what I'm saying? So definitely a team to look at DFS and beyond for the playoffs for sure. Um, Next game, Tennessee, Green Bay 40 over Tennessee 14. I thought Derrick Henry was going for 300. I'll be honest, I did not. I thought the man was going for 300. I didn't think they were going to pass it all, and he just could not get going. Like Green Bay's
Mhm.
job was to stop him, and they did that.
Right.
And by the time I knew that the Packers had to get up early in order to, kind of take them out their element, and they did that. Aaron Rodgers, obviously, Devontae Adams going to work per usual. Boom, boom, boom. Before you know it, now they need to pass, but they can't pass. They want to run, and it got them all discombobulated. So, well, thank you, Green Bay.
Yeah. I said that. I was like, man, I bet they have a slow start, but you can't get behind that big if you're gonna have a slow start. It's like who forgot the snow cleats or whatever?
Yeah,
Who forgot the long cleats? We could have. Hey, if you drive about 3 hours north of the or what? Actually, if you just go outside, go in the parking lot, practice, and did it look like they had even prepared to run in that? Oh my
it looked
god,
miserable, bro.
they look
Um,
bad. Everybody looks slow. Defensive backs we're getting burnt every play.
Devontae was going to work. Oh my!
Yeah.
It just
It couldn't be understated, like how bad they looked, how slow they
miserable.
looked.
Um, but yeah, it is what it is. I saw that you picked up AJ Dillon.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Okay, before we go on to that.
yeah, yeah, I know. We were playing that game, but I read something. Would you be surprised if AJ Dillon is the lead back next year?
Right. Yeah, I was looking into that because Aaron Jones and Jamal are both needing contracts and they didn't get theirs finalized. So I'd expect one of them to be gone, right? Because
I would say so.
somebody's gonna want 10. I bet Jamal Williams is gonna want at least 10 mil. He's probably in that range. He can make the statement that when Aaron's hurt,
Look at me.
I can be the main guy. So he might get not a Jerick McKinnon contract like from a couple years ago, but maybe a 2/3 of that. I can see him maybe trying to get 2/3, maybe
I
15 mil. I
Yeah,
can
that's
see that
why
argument. So I don't think they're both coming back.
no, one of them's gonna go, and I can definitely see because AJ Dillon looked like a beast, but circumstances, the man ain't played, and I think it was on COVID for 5 weeks, so like he had a long time to rest up, man.
Yeah.
He looked like the new and improved Eddie Lacy. Eddie Lacy was the best running back for what year and a game, and all of a sudden he became like the worst, the biggest drop off ever. He's like, "Hey, stop eating, bruh." So
Yeah, exactly. No, I want to see some more carries from him. Obviously, he's not going to look fast or quick,
no, he's a
horizontally
big
in the
dude.
snow, so we don't know yet. Like I didn't really ever see that from him, but maybe he can get into that point where he's startable, he's flexing every week. That might be where we're at next year. So
Gotta see him if he can catch too. I don't know if he was big on pass catching, but we'll see. I can tell he looks like he got Peter Brown hands.
Derrick Henry 0 catches. So
That's another thing. But
he,
um, so the last game or next game, last game, Buffalo 38 versus New England 9. Um, well, I mean, I think we all knew this was going to happen. I didn't have any other expectation. I didn't think that. I thought they would run a little bit more, honestly. But all they did was they made a statement. I knew
Yeah.
they were going to try to kill New England. I knew that.
Mm-hmm.
They've been getting killed for the last 20 years by them. But they wanted to make a statement. They did just that. Um, Diggs and they had a little weird clip at the end. I wouldn't say all that. He said something about my ins and outs.
Yeah,
I'm like,
know each other's ins and outs or something.
yeah,
But no, yeah, Gabe Davis even got a quick touchdown. Man, yeah, they New England. Can you like lose any more politely than that? Like no turnovers. I don't know if they even turned it over. I think they just punted it like 7 times. It's like holy man. Because I know I started the Bills defense. I almost that was the easiest bet I've had in a while. Buffalo favored by 7.
mm-hmm.
Took that. Started the defense, and I mean they got like what 6-7 points, but you could like lose so politely. They didn't force anything. Just
that's what I say.
You stopped us. Hang on. Let's play.
By that score, you would think you would have a lot more points in the Browns defense, right?
Yeah, just not a good fantasy defense week, huh? Weird. They just want that season to get over, right?
Ready to keep it moving.
Mm-hmm. They're on the list. They're on the list for week 17. Teams that want to just be done.
Yeah, man. So obviously, you guys look out for our Week 17 pregame before the games. Probably, hour 15, hour 20 before the games kick off. We'll have Izzy on there. Now, obviously, chime in, ask any start sits. I know the fantasy season open for most. There's still some people playing in Week 17, which I'm sorry to hear because that's extremely frustrating with people sitting out and all that. That just. But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for, staying with us the entire ride, whatever, Paul. But yeah, man, like and subscribe. We're trying to get 125 subscribers. Greatly appreciate it. If you like more of the content, more of these videos, go ahead and like and subscribe. Other than that, anything?
Yeah, follow us. We'll be going into some playoff DFS and best ball. It's really fun. We can kind of I think we've identified who we're thinking is going to get the furthest in the playoffs. So that's a fun way to keep the games interesting. And the games are going to be on Saturday. They're going to be on Sunday. Fun to check them out and see how your players are doing. How whatever the guy from last year was like carrying me is Kendrick Bourne and. Just some heroes come emerge for that. It's pretty fun.
Unsung heroes.
But yeah, and then we'll get into draft stuff and actually the rookie draft, not a fantasy draft. But yeah, we're looking forward to keeping it going. Thank you so much. Please subscribe. Thanks, Pat. Have a good night.